The Swift from Suzuki, now with added attitude. Looking for a super mini? Well, the Swift Attitude from Suzuki may be your way of life. It comes with a 1.2 petrol engine and a 5-speed manual gearbox, and it's economical too.
That's right, we've travelled over 300 miles coming down here, and we've been getting around 50 to the gallon, which is very good. We also did around 100 miles down here, and we were getting similar economies, and that's with my lead foot. It's perfect on a B road, nimble, agile, and looks the part too.
And it's a great price. It starts at just over £14,500. This model here is just under £15,500 with options.
But that does include the metallic paint that's just over £450. If you don't want to go for the optional paint, then you can get Fervent Red, which is completely free.
Nice. Talking of that, I'll be looking at the exterior and the styling.
I'll be looking at the interior, the build quality, and the functionality.
We'll both be driving it, and then I'll be bringing you the verdict on whether or not this is the car for you.
Also, if you like cars, car news, the latest automotive shows, why not subscribe to the channel? Hit the notification bell, that way you'll be updated every time we upload some new content.
Thank you. Coming round to the front of the vehicle, the first thing you notice is the honeycomb grille with the Suzuki badge. You have carbon fibre styling, you've got this nice bumper, it's got a very sporty look, and actually it's very reminiscent of the Suzuki Swift Sport. It comes with automatic headlamps, LED daytime running lights and front fogs. You can also get headlamp assist and cruise control. Coming round to the side of the vehicle, the first thing you notice are the 16-inch alloy wheels. They have low profile tyres, giving you a sportier feel. It's also got a low ride height, which is really what you want on a B road. The sporty look is accentuated by the carbon fibre style skirt. The door mirrors are powered and heated. And in maintaining the body line, you can see that they decided to put the rear door handle here. Coming round to the back of the car, the first thing you notice is the spoiler with a high level brake light. It's got a beasting aerial, sculpted rear lenses, it's got a rear diffuser, and the carbon fibre styling is continued round the back. You're reminded that it's a Suzuki Swift Attitude. It's also got a rear view camera but no parking sensor.
Stepping into the Swift Attitude is relatively easy considering this car's quite low. It is set up to be a sporty B-road car. You'll be happy to know the doors open nice and wide. There is no grab handle here, but there is one on the passenger side. Once inside, it's your typical Super Mini. Very sportily styled. Retro vents, leather wrapped steering wheel, big sized infotainment screen, and everything is angled just slightly towards the driver. There's a lot of hard plastics, but that comes with the territory. Buckety seats, very comfortable, and cloth trimmed. When it comes to tech in this car, you've got electric windows in the front. You can also disable the locks on this door card too. Power operated door mirrors. To the right hand side, you've also got your headlamp adjustment height as well. You can disable your stability control. Very clear dials, rev counter on the left, fuel computer in the center that gives you economy figures and other stats. When it comes to steering wheel, you've got the volume on the left and the button that operates the fuel computer. Under that, you've got your telephony controls as well. Moving to the center, hazard lights above that, and you can disable your passenger airbag. You've also got automatic headlamps here, and you can get high beam assist. You can also get cruise control too. When it comes to the infotainment system, it's touchscreen, it's DAB radio. You can also get satellite navigation. It has an SD card reader there. We've been using our smartphone on it. It's also got Bluetooth. When connected to Apple CarPlay, you've got things like navigation. We've been using Waze. Great little sound system. Beneath that, air conditioning, manually operated, 12-volt socket, auxiliary, USB, 5-speed manual gearbox, old school handbrake with hill hold assist. When it comes to practicality, I'm 6'3", as you can see. I've got decent headroom, I've got decent legroom as well. Very comfortable seats, rather buckety, so they do keep you pinned in whilst you're exploring B roads at a rather spirited speed. It's all manually adjusted, the seat. When it comes to the steering wheel, there is height adjustment, no reach adjustment, but you don't really need it in a Super Mini. When it comes to storage, decent sized door bin really, especially for this size of car. You can fit a bottle at the front and you can fit some snacks or maybe a book behind there. Moving to the center, you've got a storage point just below the auxiliary jacks, 2 cup holders, a storage point just in front of the handbrake, and another storage pot that doubles as a cup holder for the rear passengers. But box wise, decent size. Stepping into the back is easier than you might think, considering that low ride height and the fact that the doors open wide enough but not quite as wide as the front. Once in here though, as you can see, I do have just about enough headroom, and at 6'3", I think that's pretty good for a Super Mini. This seat is set up for me. There is a recess here that gives me a little more room, lots of room for my feet and map pocket. Realistically, I have just about enough room. It's very comfortable, it's well styled. One thing I would have liked to see is a grab handle here and here. That would have just aided with climbing in and anybody with mobility challenges. Got Isofix points on the back of the seats, decent sized bottle holder on the door, comfortable seats, nicely finished. Yes, realistically you're only going to get 2 adults in here and possibly 3 children, maybe 3 smaller adults on shorter journeys. Airbags up here, there's no electric windows, you have a wind down window here. Would have been nice to have a bit of cloth for somewhere to rest your arm. Mind you, saying it's a Super Mini, it doesn't feel claustrophobic, it's not too dark even with the privacy glass. Stepping around to the boot of the car, you unlock it using the key fob. Once open, you have 265 litres of space. If you drop the seats, it will increase to 579. As you can see, they're split folding. Yes, you do have quite a colossal boot lip here, but it does mean that you've got a deep boot. False floor would have been superb, but it's a Super Mini. You're just not going to get it. Interior light there. Shopping hook to the left hand side. Top tether points there. Lift up the carpet and you've got an inflation kit as well. Once you drop the seats, there is a ridge, but it still does give you quite a formidable space. Now you'll probably notice this is a different camera angle. For some reason one of the plates for the mount for the windscreen seems to have jumped out of the car. However, the show must go on. What's the Swift Attitude like to drive? Well, it's powered by a 1.2 petrol engine and it's got a 5-speed manual gearbox. It develops around 89 horsepower. And the staggering thing about this car is it will return, even for me, around 51 to the gallon. It's a perfect B-road car, but don't get me wrong, it is perfect on a motorway as well. Great feeling gearbox, no notchiness and very solid. Seems quite short shift as well. Comfortable hand grip as well. Old school handbrake behind that. Nice leather wrapped steering wheel. And as you've noticed, it's not overly big, so great for a B-road. Suspension wise, well, this car can be a lot of fun, it really can. It's not the fastest, but if you do launch it and rev it, it is peppy enough, it really is. It's great round town. And the thing that does really stagger me about it is it does anything from 40 to 50 to the gallon.
Well, that's a really great economy then.
Well, it is, isn't it? That's the thing about these cars, and it's perfect for a first-time driver. The insurance is 25, so that you have to consider. I mean, you will get a bit of road noise, but we're on 16-inch low-profile tyres, and I will put up with that for a really engaging drive. It's nimble, it's light.
It feels like it's on rails. Sorry to interrupt you, but it really does.
That's what this car reminds me of, to be honest. It's like a little pocket rocket. It just doesn't have the engine.
It's a hot hatch kind of feel.
It's the same style as, say, the GTI and the Driver. You've got all the setup with the, you know, lowered suspension, low ride height, and it's rather stiff as well. It's perfect round town. The weird thing about it is it's got weighted steering, but it is so direct. I mean, if you give it a twitch, it will literally do that. It does feel like it's got almost sports suspension. It reminds me more of the Golf with a set of conies and H&R springs. It is so responsive. There is a bit of bounce, but you expect that.
And the clever thing is they've made it bounce rather than bump then, and it's noticeable.
Well, that's it. Things like the conies, you would get a serious bang.
Yes, you would.
You know, that's how it's set up. But this, it mitigates it and makes it far more comfortable. We're just driving around
Old Windsor.
Old Windsor, so I'm just getting my bearings. But yeah, agile, peppy enough to nip in and out of lanes. very easy to maneuver, especially with that reversing camera. We've done about 400 miles in this car. Now it's a super mini, so you don't expect to be doing that kind of mileage, but on a motorway, you know, it'll operate at motorway speeds happily. It'll still have power if you need to use it as well. Therefore, if something pulls out, if you drop a gear or put your foot down, it will still nip you along.
Yeah, there's power in every gear, Ben.
Yeah, it's readily available, isn't it? Which is great news when you've got the 1.2, because you can get a 1.4 Swift Sport with the booster jet. That is immense fun. You can also get mild hybrid technology and a 1 litre as well. But this is agile, nimble, and offers great economy. Comfort wise, you've got buckety seats, which really suits that theme. As I mentioned, the flat bottom steering wheel. There's a lot of hard plastics, but overall this is great value for money. It really is.
It does tick all of the boxes when you think about it.
It does. Roundup, well, very sporty, economical, great fun on a B road, very good on a motorway, surprisingly, with that 1.2, and just immense value. It really is a good car. I'd go for the Swift Sport, but I like that 1.4 turbocharged engine, and economy isn't really my strong point.
I think that encapsulates you in a nutshell, Ben.
It certainly does.
Yeah. This third generation of the Swift comes in several grades. Check out our review of the Swift Sport. The one we have here is the Attitude, and prices start from just over £14,500. It's got a 1.2 litre dual-jet petrol engine coupled with a 5-speed manual gearbox. It will get you from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 11.9 seconds and delivers 120 newton meters of torque. It's also got great economy. We got 51 miles to the gallon even with Ben's lead foot. Standard features include a centre console that is angled towards the driver for an enhanced driving experience, 16-inch alloy wheels, a leather-wrapped steering wheel, and LED daytime running lights. It also comes with ESP and TECT, Suzuki's Total Effective Control technology, giving you a higher level of collision safety. Optional extras include adaptive cruise control, high beam assist, lane departure warning, and guide me lights, to name but a few. This newest marque is lighter, more powerful, and more fuel efficient, and combines Japanese engineering with European flair. It's Euro 6 and NCAP 5 too.